Welcome to CiNEMACHiNE. I'm Al. I'm here with Brandon.
Hello there.
And Ryan.
I forgot what the thing I say was.
just hello.
What do I say?
Fine. Words. Is that in the script?
You got the script I wrote? Grab the script.
As you can see, this is not a live episode.
Script.
We're actually just reviewing a movie. So this is our new format. We'll go live, but until we all have a movie that we want to watch and really put in a in-depth review, we'll do these shorter reviews like this and pop those up every once in a while. So, Ryan, you want to tell them how they can get in touch with us?
Yep. Obviously, let us know what you think of the review down in the comments, what you think of the movie itself. And then also on Instagram, I invite you to follow us at CiNEMAChinePod. We are always talking movies on there. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button here on YouTube and the bell so you know when all our content goes up.
Or you'll die. That's all we're saying. So, well, Brandon, you know, it's a couple weeks after the Snyder Cut has come out. Have you watched it 35 times by now?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of what this will be like in the future because this comes out in a week.
2 weeks.
Yes, 35 times.
2 weeks. So yeah,
Pull the curtains back.
If you can look at what clothes we're wearing on a certain live episode.
Well, and it's been we had a rough week a couple weeks ago where we were like, well, what's going to happen? And now they've come out and said, yeah, we're restoring the Snyderverse. We're canceling everything we were doing except for Snyder stuff. And we're doing all that stuff that you guys want. So
this is what you call a segment that doesn't age well. Much like Jay Leno's jokes, this will not age well. So this week we are going to be doing a long format review, but still a shorter video of Boss Level. Boss Level is a retired military operative finds himself in a never-ending time loop on the day of his death. This was released at the beginning of this month, March 5th of 2021. This was directed by Joe Carnahan, had a budget of $45 million, and it stars Frank Grillo, Mel Gibson, Naomi Watts, and Will Sasso, because let's be honest, he was the the fourth biggest person in this movie.
And it's on Hulu.
He was literally the biggest person in this movie, too.
Literally, he is a huge human being. And it is streaming on Hulu, yes.
I thought that it was the Big Show, the wrestler, when at first I was like, man. And then I realized it was Will Sasso. I was like, I don't think I knew Will Sasso was that big.
Oh, he's a very large man. And that took me out of the movie quite a bit, seeing Will Sasso, because he's so funny. And so anyway, we'll get into that. So let's talk about initial reviews here. Let's just give a little snippet. Brandon, I believe you brought this to the table for us to watch. What was your initial review?
Yeah, I feel like this movie falls into the category for me of cool idea, decent execution. Could have been better with a different director and a different lead. I think that there were there were some pretty cool, inventive, kills and things like that they had. I just felt like, I think Ryan, you mentioned this when you were up a couple weeks ago when you were up. You mentioned that Frank Grillo just isn't a leading man, and I kind of feel the same way. I felt like he was just so stiff in this role, especially with a lot of the action and acting. And I'm a fan. I think he's an okay actor, but
what's he from? I don't know what he's from.
He's usually a mercenary in most of the things that he's in.
The first thing I remember from actually was Warrior.
Yeah,
the Tom Hardy.
He's also, I think he was in. Wasn't he in?
He's in the Marvel
he was
movies.
Crossbones and
yeah,
Marvel.
He's in what movies?
The Marvel movies.
What is he in Marvel?
Crossbones.
Crossbones.
I don't know what that is.
He's a villain-ish.
Oh.
I guess.
Well, all right. So,
Anyway.
all right,
Yeah,
so
I just felt like he was lacking on multiple levels, and it just felt like they were trying to do, trying to kind of make it into like, and we say this a lot, but like it had like Tarantino, Edgar Wright, like wannabe vibes to it, but just like, and Joe Carnahan is an okay director. He's not a bad director. It's just he just couldn't. It just felt.
I'm just laughing at Brandon's initial reaction. Going on 5 minutes now.
People should be used to this by now. So, not gonna apologize for mediocre passion. But yeah, it was okay.
I'm not gonna give Joe Carnahan good director. I mean, I think his second biggest movie is. I mean, he did Smoking Aces.
His biggest movie is probably The Gray. Like it's well-reviewed movie, I would say.
A lot of TV, and I don't know, whatever. All right, Ryan. Initial review.
Yeah. So I was not a fan of this movie.
Okay.
It just felt really kind of white bread to me. And I would agree. I actually really like Grillo in a lot of the movies that I watch him in. I liked him in the Marvel movies. I loved him in Warrior. But I don't know. They just doesn't seem to have that like, and it could be a product of the writing because I wasn't like super impressed with the depth of this movie. It just felt, I mean, I know it's an action movie, but it just kind of felt like, I don't know, kind of like shallow premise wise for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think he's the leading man type, at least for this type of movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. This movie was a pile of flaming garbage to me. I hated this movie. Like, I wanted to like it because I like Mel Gibson, and I went into it with a pretty open mind.
So wasted in this movie.
He shot all of his shots in one day. There's no way he did not shoot every single scene that he was in this movie in one day.
He's only on like one set piece. So
and Naomi Watts is pretty much the same. She was like, I ain't moving. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who he is. I don't care if he's good in anything. I don't want to see him in anything else. I did not like him, period. This felt like if I was at a theater, people would be chest bumping after it. It felt like, and I'm so tired of the time loop movies and stuff. It's just, I don't know. Everybody's wearing thumb rings. And
I will say I'm a little
tattoos,
worn out on the whole Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
deal right now.
Time loop movies. And I mean, you guys like Palm Springs. I wasn't high on Palm Springs at all, but yeah, I think you've watched that more than the Snyder Cut. But anyway, so but no, I mean, but I'm just saying, within a course of a year, you've watched 2 time loop movies, and there's been more than that released this year. Feeling like we're in a time loop, and you saw one that you liked and one that you're saying you didn't like. So how do you think this one failed in comparison to Palm Springs? Because you guys both liked it.
Well, one thing Palm Springs had going for it was a comedy.
Okay. I think they wanted this to be a comedy.
I know, but I just felt like even all the death stuff, it just like I was like, I get it. Like he's gonna die a million times. Like
they wanted this to be Deadpool like esque.
Well,
so bad.
Yeah, they definitely were trying to get that like a little bit of with the narration and stuff. Like they wanted that like fourth wall breaking, like a little irreverent type comedy. And also like with a lot of the like deaths and stuff, like I thought some of that stuff was like, I don't know. Like on paper, it's like, yeah, that would be funny, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't land.
My favorite. Like I was disappointed. I'll be honest. I was disappointed by the action in this movie. My favorite action sequence was the first time he woke up in the bed and he was like beating the guy with the towel and stuff. And like,
see, I just thought that he was so stiff in those scenes. Like his action was just like, I don't know. He just didn't sell any of that stuff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Answer me this, Brandon. When they showed the machine for the first time, were you like, this looks like the arc reactor from Iron Man? Because that's all I can think about.
Yeah.
And then totally after that, somebody says on your left, and I was like, are they doing this on purpose? Like, is that
probably?
Yeah. I mean, seriously, like I said earlier, Will Sasso took me out of this movie quite a bit. Because I like Will Sasso. I think he's hilarious. If you've never seen his Arnold Schwarzenegger videos where he's just the arm of Arnold Schwarzenegger and he's driving and stuff, that's funny. But I was glad they had a little comic relief with him. Let him kind of, but making him be like the big stoic straight man, it just didn't work. And
yeah, that was weird that they didn't utilize that.
Yeah, I mean, because he could have been the dumb bodyguard that, I don't know. But either way, Mel Gibson, I came to this movie with high hopes for Mel Gibson, to be honest with you, because I like Mel Gibson. But
he was a total pushover in the fight.
Yeah.
Like, what?
He was like, okay, I lost. And the one thing that grinded my nerves more than anything in this movie that they thought was the cutest thing in the world was that I am Guan Yin or whatever it is. I was like, that is the dumbest.
Guan Yin has done this.
Oh, yeah, God, I wanted
that's what I was talking about when I was saying like that feels like a Tarantino thing, but like not good. Like
yeah, it's just
it feels like some like kitschy, like they were trying to be cute and like have this like whatever.
They were winking at the camera so much, and it was just like it almost felt like George Clooney was in this movie because they're winking so hard. But it's just like so annoying, and like I'm similar to Ryan. After like the first series, I didn't even care the first series to be honest with you. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Get to Mel Gibson. Let's see Mel Gibson. But after that first like series,
still got a strong beard going.
He does.
He does.
The beard game is good with Mel.
Beard game, bro. He I don't know. He just looked like he was kind of sleepwalking through this role. Hey, it looked like a lunch break role for him, And
I was so disappointed by that like the physical confrontation between Grillo and him. I was like, what?
Yeah. And to be honest with you, this is going to sound so terrible, and that's okay. I have nothing against children. Okay? I want to put that out there.
Where's this going to go?
But when the kid died in the movie, like when he was like, "Oh, I'll let him die," I didn't care. I was like, "Good, can this movie be
die?"
I hope everybody dies. Can we just get this movie over with? Can everybody die? Because I was like, I was in misery watching the rest of this. I was like, okay.
The whole like apocalyptic nature thing was just totally like.
It was like they gotta figure out how to get him from point A to point B, and be done with it. Anyway,
they should have kept it like at a very personal level, like
and
focused on that more. I think because I shouldn't care about anybody really. Like I certainly didn't care about the relationship between Grillo and his wife.
I will say that I thought if I'm going to give any pluses to this movie, I did like the moments that he had with his kid. But
because Brandon's like, I wish my dad and I played video games together. Wish my dad would play Street Fighter with me.
Dad, come play Arkham Asylum.
Street Fighter 2. Yeah. No, I thought those moments were good, but not enough to save the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Frank. Good for you having a job out there in the movie world, but you're terrible. Mel Gibson, please do better movies. I really want to see
we're
him better
never going to
movies.
get guests on this show.
I'm sorry. This is how I think. I can't help it.
Frank, I'm glad you got a job. You're terrible.
It's just awful. I mean, obviously he has a gym membership. That's understandable. So, but yeah, I mean,
Al,
I don't know. Like,
if you're seeing a formula here, Al doesn't like people that are in shape. I'm surprised that Ryan is still in this podcast. I'm surprised he hasn't kicked you out.
that's not true. That's not true.
You're always talking about people chest bumping.
You're gonna be.
I just don't like bros. I don't like bros where they wear like
That's what
thumb rings and like.
I do wear a backwards hat pretty much every episode on this.
That's okay. That's okay. I will say the one saving grace, the one thing that kind of made me.
Al got stuffed in lockers when he was a kid. Took his lunch money.
Actually, I did not. Thank you very much.
I took
the one person in this movie that I won't say
Drink
it was hilarious or anything. Drink your milkshake, Danny. Was the Dave character at the guy at the counter in the diner that was like nervous about everything, and he was talking to what's that comedian's name? Ken John or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was the most interesting character in the whole movie. I thought it was so tacked on when they were like, yeah, we have this professional sword fighter over here. Well, I'm going to go get some lessons, and it was just like,
I was like waiting for like that to tie in.
Yeah.
And the way it tied in, I was like, seriously? Like that?
Yeah, it was just so bad. It was just so bad.
That's a story that I would have wrote when I was in like second grade. And then there's a sword fighter that comes in the restaurant.
This movie is terrible. I mean,
as far as like acting goes, I would say Naomi Watts was like the only performance I liked, but she like it was just the story didn't really like lend itself to anything interesting. Like,
so what age were they supposed to be in the movie?
I don't know. What they've got a 10-year-old, 12-year-old.
Yeah, so I'm guessing they were supposed to be playing like 35 roughly, or 40-ish
probably.
I don't know.
Now she looks great for her age, but 52, you're not looking like you're 35. You know what I mean? Like I did not believe that they had a 10-year-old at all. Period.
That didn't bother me that much.
It's not that it's really just one of the tertiary things that I'm talking about, but I just didn't buy it. I think
people have kids late in life now, Al.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry guys. Sorry for
How old's your kid?
My kid? Well, it's a sad story, really. Anyway, no, I just didn't believe that they like he's in his 50s, she's in her 50s. He's 55 years old, I think, in real life. And I mean, yeah, they both look good for their age, but I just did not take
55. Dang.
I think that's what I read.
That's crazy. He looks great for his age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's why I was so mad.
No. Yeah, he's 55. Yeah, he's 55.
Oh, I forgot he was in The Gray too.
There you go.
Wilderness movie.
Yeah. So he and old Carnahan became best friends.
Punch a wolf.
So here's
the
thing about this movie. There are 3 credits for writing. I don't know why you need.
The tagline is "Gone today, here tomorrow."
Yeah. So let's see what else these folks have written. So it looks like a brother grouping, the Bore brothers. Open. So this is really their biggest movie. This is like their second movie, really, that they wrote together. So, I mean, that's understandable, I guess.
What elementary school are they from?
Was this script in crayon? So I'm pretty sure if you look at the original draft of the script, It has Monster drink all over it. So anyway, is there anything else we want to add to this review?
Well,
no. All right, we're good. See y'all later.
There's not a lot to say. I mean, I remember hearing about this movie. I think this movie was supposed to come out a while ago. I think it's gotten kicked kind of down the road. I'm sure that COVID had something to do with it, and then it ended up being a Hulu exclusive. But that was not the intention.
But this movie wish it had COVID.
And so I remember when they were like, I think I saw Carnahan and Grillo and Sasso on all at different episodes on this podcast, and they were talking about the idea behind the movie, and they were in the middle of making it, and I had saw some set photos and stuff, and I was like, yeah, this could be pretty cool. And that, Mel Gibson's involved. I was like, yes, kind of sounds like it's right up my alley.
Did Gronkowski take anybody else out of the movie?
Did he take anybody? Oh, well, I knew that I didn't remember his name, but I knew he was a football player.
Honestly, didn't know it was him.
Al,
I said, I didn't know it was him, but I was like, that guy looks a lot like Gronkowski. And it wasn't even like a thought that I lingered on. I just kind of, it was like a fleeting thought. And then I found out it was actually him when I was looking up the cast of characters right before we did this review. And there were other people. I was like, they were in this movie. They were, so.
It's just funny, man. I'm looking at like IMDb at the photos for this movie, and like every other photo is a Mel Gibson photo. And I'm like, he was in the movie for like 5 minutes.
I would like to know how much of that $45 million budget was Mel Gibson's lunch break for that day, because I don't even know if he was there for
it. It definitely kind of reeks of those like straight to DVD Bruce Willis movies that you see. There's like Bruce Willis did this movie.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I just feel like it was like it could have been a lot, better under a different director, a different lead,
or just not
even like the type treatment that they use. It's like weird, like crappy video game looking type treatment. I don't know. Yeah,
it's just no redeeming. So, Ryan, would you buy this movie, skip this movie, stream this movie? What would you do? This could be an expectations thing for me because I love Mel Gibson so much, and I don't know, was just hoping for a really cool, different action movie.
If you don't have high expectations for this type of thing, it might be worth this, just casual, half paying attention stream. But other than that, I will not be watching it again.
No. And I could tell that Ryan didn't like it by his text messages. He didn't say I didn't like it or anything. He's like, hey, he just sounded like he was being held hostage having to review this movie. It sounded.
And if anybody knows me, I don't like the trash movies like this. So, that probably came through in my text. Like, hey guys, you guys seen Save Yourselves?
You want to watch that? Let's just review that instead. So I was like, I know what his review is on this movie. So and Brandon was the one that suggested it, and we both watched it.
Way to go, Brandon.
We both watched it way before Brandon. So
I just said, anybody got any interest in? I didn't say, hey, we should review this. I mean, it is something new to talk about.
But here we are.
We are a movie show, so it's good that we, get the garbage out too. So we got to take it out to the curb sometimes. So, Brandon, would you buy this movie, stream this movie, skip this movie? What would you do?
I'm kind of in Ryan's camp. I would, I feel like here's the thing. I would never say you should go watch this movie to anyone. I think that there are general audiences that will watch this and probably think it's, pretty good or decent, and they'll enjoy it. But I can't recommend it.
Okay.
Is that good?
There's probably some folks in Royston who will love it. That's what Brandon's saying.
Probably.
There's probably, there's an audience for every single movie in the world. I mean,
Sure.
there just is. I have to say, skip this movie. It's just not worth. It's not even worth seeing Mel Gibson in. Just go watch Braveheart or Lethal Weapon quadrilogy or
Fat Man.
I would rather watch Fat Man 5 times before I watch this again.
Oh wow,
I would too.
That's a statement.
I would. No, I don't know about 5 times, but I would watch it over this.
Yeah, I would not say 5 times,
but yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, we reviewed it. We did it. Well,
if
everybody
you're still here. Well, you made it. You made it with us.
This was better than the movie. So,
I hope so.
How long was
pretty
this
low
movie?
bar?
Was it an hour and a half or what? Was it 2 hours?
Hour and 34 minutes.
Man, it felt like 6 hours. All right.
I was gonna say that this felt longer than this Snyder Cut.
And you've watched that 37 times.
Yeah.
So, well, folks, thanks for tuning in this week. We are having a great time reviewing movies, even when we don't really like them. Let us know what you thought of Boss Level. Ryan, you want to let them know where they can find us?
Yep. Obviously, if you're on YouTube, down in the comments, let us know what you think of the movie, and whether you like the review, things that you didn't like, what we could change, suggestions. And then obviously we are on Instagram at CiNEMAChinePod. And of course, remember to hit the subscribe button here on YouTube.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Well, everybody, we will see you on the next CineMachine. But until then, keep watching a ton of movies. See you.